South Africans have fought for political and civil rights, like the right to vote, freedom of speech, and the right to privacy. Most South Africans only gained access to these rights in 1994. But as important as these rights are, to South Africans who don't have enough food, shelter, or healthcare, they may not matter as much. The South African Constitution recognizes this. And as well as giving people civil and political rights, like the right to vote, it also grants and protects socio-economic rights, such as the right to basic needs like access to food, water, housing, healthcare, and education. The Constitution recognizes that in order for people to live dignified lives, they require the basic necessities of life as well as political and civil rights. The Constitution makes clear that all rights apply to everyone, are interdependent, indivisible, and interrelated. Judge Jody Collopin tells us a little bit about why dignity requires the inclusion of socio-economic rights in the Constitution.
If we accept that dignity is about the quality of our life and how we live, democracy must also be then about the quality of the life people live. Social and economic rights really deal with those aspects that impact on whether we live meaningful lives. So it relates to housing, to food, to adequate healthcare, to receiving a quality education, to receiving assistance from the state when you're unable to fend for yourself.
By including these basic human needs in our Constitution, our government is by law required to provide them. But the Constitution recognizes that the government might not always have the money or the capacity to provide everyone with their rights immediately. So even though everyone has the right, the state may only be able to provide the right, like access to food, water, housing, or healthcare, over time. This doesn't mean the state can do whatever it wants though. It has to form a plan and tell all of us what it will do to realize our rights. And if the state's plan isn't good enough, or it fails, we have to hold the government to account. The Constitution does, however, require the state to provide some rights, like the right to basic education and the right to emergency medical care immediately. So despite everyone having socio-economic rights, we've got a long way to go before these rights are fully realized. We need to ensure that our government continues its progress on providing socio-economic rights to our people and ensure that these rights are protected and respected, and that it's held to account when it doesn't fulfill these duties.